This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. Volkswagen workers are cranking up the pressure on the company. As we reported last week, workers held a 4-hour strike today at 9 plants in Germany to protest the automaker's plan to cut jobs and wages. Union leaders and management are also holding talks today about a new deal. But before negotiations started, the IG Metall union issued a warning to VW that it has, quote, one last chance to reach a deal before the end of the year, or it will face strikes in 2025 that, quote, this company has never experienced before. VW says it needs to make the cuts in order to remain competitive, but so far the two sides aren't close to a deal. And here's another thing that isn't going to sit well with the union. A report from a local German newspaper says that VW is considering moving parts or all of the ID. Buzz production out of Germany to its plant in Poland. A VW spokesperson confirmed that it is discussing different scenarios, but says it hasn't made a final decision yet. Even so, something is holding the van back. VW set a sales target of 130,000 a year, but in the first half of the year, it's only delivered 15,000 ID. Buzzes. The prices for raw materials needed to make EV batteries are dropping fast. Bloomberg New Energy Finance reports that in the last 2 years, lithium prices dropped 86%, cobalt fell 46%, and nickel fell 43%. But that's not really good news for the EV sector. Those prices are down because EV demand slowed, especially in the US and the EU. And there's actually a glut of those materials. While the price competition in EVs gets all the headlines, the price competition for battery makers is even more brutal. Another reason why cobalt and nickel prices are down is the growing popularity of lithium iron phosphate batteries, which don't use those materials. So battery experts don't expect prices to pick back up again for a couple of years. Remember when everyone said that cylindrical battery cells were best for EVs? Well, not anymore, they don't. Robin Zhang, the CEO of CATL, even made fun of Elon Musk, saying he doesn't know how to make batteries and that the cylindrical 4680 cells will never be successful. Meanwhile, BYD, which is the second largest EV battery maker in the world and makes LFP blade batteries, says it will cut their costs 15% when the next generation launches in the first half of next year. It will also increase the energy density from 150 watt-hours per kilogram to 210 watt-hours and will have a 3C charging rate, which is how charge rates are described in China. A 1C charge rate means a battery can be fully charged in 1 hour. A 2C rate means it can charge 2 times in an hour. So a 3C charge rate means it can be fully charged in 20 minutes. BYD says the new blade batteries will offer performance close to typical lithium batteries, but at LFP prices. According to Goldman Sachs, global battery prices are now around $111 per kilowatt hour and are expected to drop to $80 by 2026. And as long as we're talking about EV batteries, here's an interesting factoid. Half of all the foreign direct investment for reshoring manufacturing in the United States since 2021 was for EV battery production. The rest went to computer chips, pharmaceuticals, solar panels, and raw materials like lithium, rare earths, and hydrogen. President Trump is talking about eliminating all subsidies for EVs and batteries, but that would slam the door shut on the greatest reshoring effort going on in the country. So what do you think? Will Trump actually get rid of the EV subsidies or keep some of them? Or what will he do?
Developing today's vehicles, issues can happen in an instant. What good is knowing your problems without the data to solve them? Meet Wireless Neovi Cloud, your secure off-the-shelf solution, empowering real-time collaboration for quick resolution. With Wireless Neovi Cloud, your team can prevent issues before they can escalate. driver communication data, and remote diagnostics to analyze and resolve your problems using OTA, allowing your executives oversight throughout the process. Wireless Nearby Cloud, your vehicle update solution in production and on the road. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
Looks like Nikola is having some teething issues launching its hydrogen-powered semi-trucks. Coyote Container, a shipping and logistics company, was one of the first to get the fuel cell truck earlier this year, but says operating costs are more, that there's no way to tell how much the fuel actually costs. There's also weight limitations and reliability issues. It said the first time power cut out unexpectedly, the truck had 900 miles on it, but it's happened 5 more times, the most recent one with nearly 30,000 miles on the odometer, which has resulted in Coyote filing complaints to NHTSA. On top of that, it says the hydrogen-powered Nikola sells for 5 to 10 times more and can weigh anywhere from 7,500 to 11,000 pounds more than a standard Class 8 diesel drayage truck, which hinders how much cargo you can carry due to on-road weight limits. These are some of the very first models to reach customer hands, so I think some issues should be expected. But unlike early EV adopters who typically had a second or third car to go to, it's not as easy for a trucking company to just grab another semi out of the garage. So we may not see these trucking companies get the same free pass as some automakers. According to reports out of Japan, Toyota is pushing back its next-gen EVs for most of the world, but this seems less to do with a slowdown in EV demand and more to do with Toyota needing more time to develop its future production technology, like gigacastings and cars that can drive themselves to different assembly areas. They say it's pushing back production of an electric 3-row Toyota SUV in the US from 2025 until the first half of 2026 and delaying Lexus's next EV until the middle of 2027. But Toyota is pushing ahead with new EVs in China with its joint venture partner GAC. It just opened up orders for its newest electric SUV, the BZ3X. The model features a 150 kilowatt or roughly 200 horsepower electric motor, up to 620 kilometers or 385 miles of range, and hands-free driving capability. The BZ3X is scheduled to go on sale in China in March with a starting price under $14,000. Stellantis is going to rejoin the ACEA, or the European Automobile Manufacturers Association, a lobbying group that represents the European auto industry. 2 years ago, Stellantis left the group because former CEO Carlos Tavares wanted to set up his own lobbying forum. Tavares was unhappy with the ACEA's support of the EU's EV transition plan. He wanted the EU to ease off the EV mandate and allow more hybrids and plug-in hybrids. But with Tavares gone, Stellantis is rejoining the ACEA, which is welcoming it back with open arms. As we said earlier in the show, the Trump administration wants to get rid of the $7,500 federal EV tax credit. It also wants to scale back fuel efficiency standards, and now Reuters reports that Trump wants to stop the U.S. Postal Service's transition to electric vehicles. Sources tell Reuters that the Trump transition team is looking into canceling multi-billion-dollar contracts that the USPS signed with Oshkosh and Ford to purchase electric delivery vehicles. In 2023, Congress gave the USPS $3 billion to purchase 66,000 electric vehicles and charging equipment. However, it will be legally challenging for the Trump administration to cancel those contracts because the USPS is an autonomous federal agency with its own governing board. Mercedes-AMG is officially kicking off its new limited edition series called Mythos, and the first car to come out of that is the Pure Speed. The two-door, two-seat sports car is one of just a few models in the world that comes with no top or windshield. But it also features an F1-style halo bar, which we had hoped was an indication of an F1-inspired powertrain. but it actually comes with an AMG staple, a 4-liter twin-turbo V8. In the pure speed, it sends roughly 580 horsepower to all 4 wheels through a 9-speed automatic trans, which gets you from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.6 seconds. Other highlights include a semi-active suspension system, standard ceramic brakes, 4-wheel steering, and it looks like you get your own matching custom helmet. But with only 250 examples being built, you know it won't be cheap. But that brings us to the end of today's show. Thanks for making Autoline a part of your day.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering boost your game. And by Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility.
Making a life full of memories, one road trip at a time. That's what really matters. Bridgestone Weather Peak Tires, with a 70,000-mile limited warranty.
There's nothing wrong with heavy metal.
Hey, lighten up.
But with world-class composite material, Teijin Automotive Technologies makes vehicles lighter, safer, and more eco-friendly.